Happy New Year, friends. Mate, how much of a smelly poop of a year was 2020, am I right? Especially because there was fuck all decent science fiction that came out. But there were a few cool things that appeared during the pandemic, so here's my selection of the best sci-fi on screen for 2020. Raised by Wolves was riddled with Scott. This bizarre TV series is set on a distant planet, and it was very out there. Conceptually not the freshest premise, but its delivery and execution I thought was quite unique. The cast were great, the gore, the scenescapes, the overall story and the pacing were fantastic. I did a video on this if you want to check it out. It was pretty weird, man, but I like that shit. It's got Ragnar as a main, some kid actors that are not shithouse for once, this hot dude in spandex, and much more. It's gross and super spooky. I liked it. Check it out. Altered Carbon Season 2. Again, I did a video on this. In fact, I did a video on most of these. But anyway, Season 2 of Altered Carbon suffered from 2 major downfalls. Make that 3. Though I still reckon it's a pretty sick show and worth a watch, especially if you've seen Season 1, you might as well watch Season 2. But alas, it has since been cancelled. First thing that let this season down was swapping out the lead. Although it works in this universe and I didn't personally mind, and although Anthony Jackie was pretty dope, we missed the old Takeshi. Everyone whinged that they didn't use the old actor, even though it totally works within this universe. The other guy was so good, Joel Kinnaman or whatever his name is, that people really missed him. Second, there was too much action and it was pretty mediocre at best. I love action, don't get me wrong, but in this series and in this world, using it sparingly would have made its impact more powerful. And lastly, I think it wasn't dark nor gritty enough, especially not compared to Season 1, although that could be because the initial punch of this weird universe was already delivered in the first series. I don't know. We needed something to smack us in the face, and in this season, it wasn't really there. But anyway, it's still a pretty good show, a very interesting story, so it's worth a watch if you've seen Season 1 at the very least. Palm Springs, it's Groundhog Day, but what if wedding? Not an original premise by any stretch of the imagination, living the same day over and over again, but you're the only one who realizes that this time loop is happening, blah blah blah. We've seen it all a million times before, but it's still so fascinating, it's worth seeing it again. And in this particular instance, in Palm Springs, the delivery and the comedy was dope. I liked it a lot. It's a romantic comedy for sure, but it was cast well and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of a fresh idea on that age-old trope of repeating the same day. Check it out. Westworld Season 3. Season 2 of Westworld was a bit of a schlump, a bit of a lull. It tried too hard to be all spooky and time-jumpy like Season 1. It was pretty lame. I thought it tried too hard, but Season 3 went in a whole other direction, set largely outside the parks, and in my opinion had redeemed itself. The action was on point, the cast brilliant as always, it had enough mystery and intrigue to keep you guessing without trying to suck its own dick too hard. I liked it, check it out. Avenue 5 was a little underrated gem and I thought it was funny as fuck. The dark, offbeat humor and stellar casting was fantastic. If you want to see a crew of incompetent luxury space cruiser slowly descend into madness while their obnoxious guests panic and lose their minds, then this is the show for you. It's darker than you think, but it is very offbeat. It wasn't received very well, but I thought it was great, very funny, very underrated. Check it out. Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's been almost 30 years since the last one, so you would expect this film to be total crap like all those other sequels made years later in a desperate attempt to grab a bit of cash. But Bill Ted 3 is actually a wholesome and fun ride. Don't get me wrong, I love dark, demented shit. I'm a little sicky, but sometimes it's nice to take the butt plug out, grab some snacks, maybe a fizzy drink, something other than beer like a Fanta, and watch something sweet and chill, like Bill and Ted Face the Music. That being said, me and my girlfriend were high as fuck on hash cookies at the time of watching, so take that former sentiment with a grain of salt. Bill and Ted 3 kept the charm and the cringe of the older films, but modernized it, added some elements that were from the previous films, added some new elements into the universe as well. It brought back some old characters and introduced some new characters. It worked. It was funny, it was goofy, it was charming, I liked it. In fact, I reckon it's the best sci-fi film of 2020, and that's fucking saying something. Fuck 2020 is what I'm saying. But the best overall sci-fi, in my sick cunt opinion, was The Mandalorian Season 2. I don't know what I'm choking up. Yes, it was full fan servicey, yes, it's fucking Disney, and yes, it's fucking sick, mate. I love this show so damn much, it hurts. I didn't really care for the new trilogy of films, I didn't really like prequel trilogy, but good on them for having a go with an original vision, I guess. But still, fuck midichlorians. I want to get tattooed on my anus little midichlorians so that every time I take a shit, I'm shitting all over the midichlorians. That's how much I hate that concept. Fuck midichlorians. But The Mandalorian was next level. It's shot so wonderfully, the action is amazing, the cast is, and everything, it's the best Star Wars since the original trilogy. Fight me, nerds! No, don't though, don't. If you haven't watched Mando yet, you simply must, or don't, whatever, do whatever you want, but watch The Mandalorian, just trust me, it's fucking sick, hey? Some runners-up for 2020 might have been Vivarium, even though technically it was made or came out at a film festival or something in 2019. I couldn't access it till this year. So I don't know if that counts. But anyway, it was pretty weird and cool. The Expanse Season 5, which came out in December and is still going into January of 2021, is amazing. I love The Expanse. I will never stop sucking the big fat delicious cock of The Expanse, but because it's kind of going into 2021, I didn't really put it in the 2020 category. I don't know. It is a great show and novel series. In fact, it's probably my favorite sci-fi airing at the moment, for sure. Of all of them, everything. Star Trek Picard was pretty good. It had a really strong start, I thought, but a really weak finish, and I don't know, I don't really like it anymore. At first I liked it, now I don't. There's a few other things that came out this year, but I can't really remember, so they don't count. Or do they? What did you guys think was the best sci-fi of 2020? Anything you were angry about that I didn't mention? Leave a comment and let's get a friendly discussion going. Happy New Year, folks. I hope this year is better than the last. Be excellent to each other, and I love you very much. Goodbye.